The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. As Jesus got into a boat, his disciples followed him. Suddenly a violent storm came up on the sea, so that the boat was being swamped by waves, but he was asleep. They came and woke him, saying, "Lord, save us, we are perishing." He said to them, "Why are you terrified, O you of little faith?" Then he got up, rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was great calm. The men were amazed and said, "What sort of man is this, whom even the winds and the sea obey?" The Gospel of the Lord. It's pretty interesting that we read about Sodom and Gomorrah as we celebrate our nation's Independence Day. Wasn't necessarily the readings for the 4th of July, it just happened to be the readings for the Tuesday of the 13th week of Ordinary Time. Anyway, I'm not going to prophesy about anything there. I just find it interesting. But I find it interesting because we often hear, I can remember my grandma, "Oh, Sodom and Gomorrah." She just thought that the way we were going as a culture was heading that way. And there's a lot of people that would agree, and I'm not too far off either. But I don't think we have to fear. Okay, but it is. Today we celebrate our Independence Day. And it caused me to reflect that, hey, there's healthy independence and there's unhealthy independence, right? And you think of one of the great hallmarks of our Declaration of Independence, "In God we trust." Okay, that's healthy independence, right? There's an independence from, worldly restraints and a dependence upon God. That's healthy independence. Unhealthy independence would be just "Hey, I'm just an autonomous being, bro. Leave me alone. I do what I want." All right, we see a lot of that going on today, and I think our country even kind of wants to veer that way. That's an unhealthy independence. So true independence is a dependence upon God. And in that, we can have peace and security no matter what storms are raging outside of us. So then we complement, Sodom and Gomorrah with our Lord's gospel today, where Jesus is, he's in the boat, the boys are with him, a violent storm creeps up all around him. They're terrified, and Jesus is asleep. He's asleep in the boat, dude. He's peaceful. "Yeah, I got this. No problem. In God we trust." All right, so this is the deal. When we have that healthy independence, that true dependence upon God, we can have the same peace and confidence that Jesus had, even though the storms are just raging around us. Even though we're in the midst of Sodom and Gomorrah, we can be at peace because we've been redeemed. We trust in God. We don't just trust in God. We know him. We're in his boat. We can be at peace. And I think this is crucial because the waters are hectic all around us. No one needs to explain that. It is a volatile climate that we live in. But we don't need to get caught up in it. The disciples got caught up and they were afraid. Jesus was asleep. All right, we can have that peace of heart as well. And I think it's a choice. It's a choice to trust in God. All right, and this is, that's the whole thing, because God is in control here. Even in the midst of this, I doubt he's happy with the way a lot of the culture is going. But still, we can have that same confidence. And I think it's important because I don't know that it's going to get any better in the culture. I have a buddy that says, "Hey, it's going to get worse before it gets worse." All right, so brace yourself for impact. It's probably not going to get any better out there. But in here, we can be asleep. We can be at peace. All right, that's true dependence. That's true healthy independence from the world. True dependence clinging to God. And for us, it's not just an arbitrary trusting in God. True, but as Catholics, God is here, man. We are in God's boat. As Jesus His presence in the Eucharist, His guidance in the magisterium. Like, we can have that peace when we are in full communion with the Catholic Church. We can be at peace. No matter what is raging around outside of us, we can have the peace and confidence of trusting in God, not just arbitrarily, but the man is with me in the boat. That's a choice on our part. That's a choice of which voice to listen to. And I would just follow our Lord's guidance, truly cling to Him with trust, but then listen to His voice. Have that faith that the disciples were lacking in that moment to trust in God. He's with us. So may our nation have healthy independence, which is true dependence upon God. May we truly trust in God in all things. No matter what storms rage around us, we can have the peace and heart of our Lord, who was asleep in the boat while the waves were raging. Because we have faith in God, we trust Him, and Jesus is in our boat.